Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back into the video today. And today, the Miami Heat have traded for Davion Mitchell. The Heat are acquiring the Raptors guard who has averaged 6 points per game and 2 rebounds per game this season, also averaging 5 assists per game. With this trade happening, I can only wonder, is it that, the Raptors and Heat wanted to potentially get a deal done after what we saw fail last night. The Raptors were supposed to be in that Jimmy Butler trade last night, and Kyle Anderson was supposed to go to, Toronto, and that fell through. I'm surprised it's not Kyle Anderson going to Toronto and for Davion Mitchell. Instead, it's PJ Tucker. But yeah, PJ Tucker is going to Toronto, and with him is going a second-round pick in cash considerations. Mitchell is heading to Miami. I can't say I'm surprised about this deal. PJ Tucker's contract is terrible, and it seems like no one really wants it. Utah didn't want it because his contract's terrible, and they're a tanking team that has no use for a veteran like PJ, and that's two reasons why they let go of him. With the Heat, I can't really say why they... I think the contract is a reason why. Another reason why is because they really wanted to trade for Davion Mitchell. I can't say they're a tanking team like the Jazz are, or a bad team like the Jazz are. So I think the only reason to really want to let go of PJ Tucker is because you really wanted Mitchell badly, or also because his contract was terrible. But I wonder where PJ Tucker is going to stick. Is he going to stick in Toronto? If you asked me 24 hours ago, I would have told you Toronto is a team not where a veteran stays. But after the Brandon Ingram trade, I don't know what to say with that, because I think after the Brandon Ingram trade, it seems like the Raptors are more serious about winning. Now they are 6.5 games back from being in the play-in. I think it's pretty impossible for them to make it into the play-in. But maybe does Toronto think they have a shot with Ingram and Barnes and RJ and Quickly and Jakob Poeltl? Maybe they do. Maybe they do think they have a chance of making it in. I mean, look, I wouldn't say it's impossible. If you look at the teams they got to catch up to, they're like a half a game back from Brooklyn. That's easy. And then you have to catch up to the Bulls, which with the Bulls continuing to get worse, trading away players and tanking, I think you can very easily catch up to the Bulls. But here's the only problem. Catching up to the Sixers is the problem, I think. Especially if the 76ers start to get healthy, Joel Embiid's back. My prediction is I think the Raptors finish the year as the 11th seed in the Eastern Conference. Right now they are at like 13 or 14. I think they're at 13. But my prediction is they try to get into the play-in and they fall short, finishing the season at the 11th seed is what I'm predicting for the Toronto Raptors. But so that's why I don't know if PJ Tucker actually stays on this team or not, because with Brandon Ingram on this team now, they very well could try to make a play-in run, try to get into the play-in. I don't think it's possible, but they very well might try to do that. And a veteran like PJ Tucker could help with that. So that makes me kind of think PJ stays on this roster, but do you want to keep that terrible contract is a big question. And look, if the Raptors decide to trade away Chris Boucher, you're going to need a backup 4. So I don't know. It's definitely an interesting topic to go over, but I knew Davion Mitchell was getting traded. That's not surprising at all for me. I was looking at the Raptors roster and looking at the trade machine last night after the Ingram trade, just kind of looking at their roster, and I looked at Davion Mitchell's contract and I thought he's an expiring deal. And then I went to Basketball Reference and started looking at guys like Jamal Shed and Jacoby Walter's stats this year, and look how good they've been as young rookie guards. And I was thinking there's no way Mitchell stays on this roster with how solid Shed and Walter have looked this year. And I think as the second half of the season comes on, you want to give those guys more minutes. You want to give those guys more of a chance to grow as young players. And Davion Mitchell's a great player. He's been good for the Raptors this year, but he is holding those two guys back. And now he gets to go and play for a team. Now it'll be interesting to see him come off the bench. I think he is a point guard, but he can also be a shooting guard. But we'll see. It will be interesting to see him come off the bench with Terry Rozier. I also think it's interesting to see what the Heat will do with starting lineup, because recently we've seen Tyler Hero and Duncan Robinson at the 1 and 2. That I think probably could continue. But I wouldn't be surprised if Miami potentially decided on potentially starting Rozier and Hero together at the 1 and 2, and then off the bench you have Mitchell and Robinson. But I'm interested to see how Mitchell and Rozier would work off the bench together, because those are 2 point guards right there. I think it's easier for it's easy for Rozier to move to the 2 for sure, because he's done it this season with Hero, and he's also done that in his career with LaMelo Ball. But recently I look at Rozier, and he's played pretty well recently off the bench for the Heat, playing backup point guard. Do you want to ruin that? Or does Mitchell just move to the backup too? But we'll see what happens with this addition. I like this addition for the Miami Heat. I think this will be a good addition. I mean, he's had a great season this year, averaging 6 and 5 and almost 2 rebounds per game, and has shot 43% from the floor. He's a good 3-point shooter, 36% in both of his last seasons. 36% last season in Sacramento, and this season 36% in Toronto. And also shooting the ball he's shooting the ball more from 3 this year than he has had in his last 2 seasons. So, yeah, let me know your thoughts on the addition for the Heat in the comment section, as Mitchell will go and play for his 3rd team in his career. This is a video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and peace out.